After significant success in their push to liberate Sirte last week, Libyan forces have continued their onslaught against ISIL. They've seized the city's main mosque and a jail previously run by the militants. Susan Mwongeli reports.
Most of Sirte remains deserted except for government fighters and a handful of ISIL militants. On Sunday, Libyan forces advanced into the Bufara neighborhood. They've recaptured several buildings, including the Riba Mosque, the largest in the city. ISIL had been using it as an operations base. The latest onslaught hasn't been without casualties, though. 9 fighters have been killed. But the Libyan Army's media office has reported that dozens of militants have also been gunned down. The recent progress by Libyan forces has been aided by US airstrikes. Washington says it's carried out 65 strikes over Sirte in the last couple of weeks. The coastal city is ISIL's final bastion in the country. Libyan forces have already taken most of the city, restricting the militants to a shrinking residential area. Susan Mwongeli, CCTV.
Well, let's get you an update on this story now. I'm joined live from Cairo by CCTV's Adel Al-Marouki. Adel, this is, of course, another victory for Libyan forces as they claim a mosque and a prison from ISIL militants in Sirte. Just give us the latest now on the situation in the city.
Well, actually, the advancement, Lindy, is much more than these. These are the two of the main crucial buildings that has been acquired by the solid structure forces or the military operation that Libyan forces has been conducting against ISIL in Sirte. They have also managed to take back the headquarters of the National Security Bureau and the Intelligence and the Interior Ministry offices or the security offices in Sirte as well. They took large spaces. Yesterday we were talking about that ISIL militants were confined in 2 main districts where they maintained their control over. Today we're talking that they have retreated to just small parts of these 2 districts. So the fight is still going on in the 1st and the 3rd district in Sirte, but they have been more confined toward the sea. One Libyan official from the solid structure has reported that they have captured the leading medical operator from ISIL who was responsible to manage and run 2 central hospitals in Sirte to look after the injuries and to cure ISIL militants who have been injured in the fight. Now he has been captured, and it seems that at least a dozen more of ISIL's militants have managed to flee. It's not clear where exactly they've been going, but at least the medical commander, he was heading toward the southeast, where they believe most of the leaders will be gathering, in what some analysts expect to be another attempt to rebuild the structure of ISIL in a different location in Libya, as long, of course, as the turmoil continues.
Well, as you say, some major advancements made by Libyan forces, but they've certainly come at a cost. Adel, what do we know about casualty figures on both sides of the conflict?
Well, today we have received a confirmation from the official page of the solid structure, the military operation, that at least 11 have been killed from their side and dozens more, up to around 80 persons, but the numbers vary in that regard. They have been wounded. Some of them have been treated in Sirte, others have been moved to Misrata, where it's the main headquarters of the Libyan military forces, and they have been based there, and they launched their operations from Misrata. From the other side, from the militant side, it's still not clear. They don't even know exactly what's the precise number of the militants remaining that have been causing this resistance that we've seen during the past few days.
And meanwhile, of course, as this battle for Sirte continues, there is still a civilian population. What kind of toll is this conflict having on the civilians in Sirte?
Well, Lindy, it seems that according to the solid structure statements, of course, that all civilians have been evacuated, and they believe, the Libyan forces, that whoever remains in these parts of the two remaining districts in Sirte, they believe they are only ISIL militants and their families. Many of the militants and the commanders of ISIL are still there with their wives and children, which is making the confrontation quite hard. But at the same time, they believe that no other civilians, or at least all those who belong or at least are still inside the sieged neighborhoods, they all are families for ISIL. They believe that no one else or no other regular citizen is still in Sirte. They have been conducting a huge evacuation project in the past few days to manage that airstrikes would not harm except those who are standing by ISIL.
All right, well, thanks very much for that update. Adel Al-Marouki saying there, of course, that civilians have been evacuated as Libyan forces continue to push for those final two districts of Sirte.